All right, you guys, once you have everything set up, then basically the next thing that we need to do is go into our ClickFunnels, click on funnels, and we want to actually build a funnel so that we can associate the domain to it. So I'm just going to click add new, and I'm going to go create new funnel. Now you could start it from the cookbook. Basically, you can pick from a bunch of different styles. So you could do that, or you can use a classic funnel builder. It's entirely up to you. You're creating a new funnel. And so I like to use the create new funnel, but if you prefer, you can use the cookbook. So entirely up to you. So we want to actually sell a product from our funnel. So I'm going to click product launch, and then I'm going to click choose, and I'm going to give it a name, and I'm going to call it Epic Growth Academy. All right, and then I'm going to give it a basically a group tag, right? I'm going to call it e-commerce because I want to sell something. I'm going to click build funnel. When I click build funnel, it's essentially going to generate the pages that I need for this specific funnel. Very simple. Before we go and edit any of these pages though, go to settings and make sure that you associate the domain. So I'm going to go pick Epic Growth Academy, and I'm going to go down here and click save and update. So now I've associated my domain to it. Perfect. Now I'm going to go through and do the opt-in. Okay, I'm going to go through and set up the actual opt-in. I can pick any of these pages. Now you're going to have to give something away for free. Don't worry if you don't have anything. I'm going to show you exactly how you can go and grab something that you can give away as your own. Super, super simple. All right, so go here, basically go in and pick any of these that look really, really good to you. I'm going to select one right now, and then let's take a look here and see which one should we go with. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick this one right here. And it's going to generate the page for me. And basically it creates a name here, but I want you to understand that you have to change this name, okay? So the actual opt-in page name is going to be, let's just say grab your free offer. Let's call it that. Click update. And that should associate itself to that. As soon as we click that, you can see it's already up. We already have our funnel up. Obviously, we got to make some changes to it. We can't just use what we have here. And basically, all we have to do in order to start setting this up is click on edit page. When we get to the edit page, obviously you want to make sure that you change some of the stuff around. But before you do any of that, let me explain to you how all of this works. You'll see that there are some things when I hover over it's green, like here. Some things are blue, like here. And some things are orange, like here. There are 3 different types of components on the page when you're using this drag and drop visual editor. There are sections, which are in green. The sections hold the rows, which are in blue. And the rows hold the elements. There's tons of different elements that you can add to your funnel, but that is the basic makeup of the page. If I were to come down here to the bottom, just to kind of show you briefly how this works, if I want to add a section, I need to actually click to add a new section. So this is the new section. And for this section, basically all I need to do is add a row. Now this is probably grabbing the background image from somewhere else. And so you want to make sure that, you know, if you want a background image, you're gonna put it there. If not, you want to go and pick a color. So I picked white here, and I want to add a new row to this background image. But let's just say I want to give it a different color. And I could pick gray, I could pick yellow. Let's just click yellow so it's really, really easy to see. I'm going to add a new row. Now you can pick here 1 column, 2 columns, 3 columns, 4 columns, 5 columns, 6 columns, left sidebar and right sidebar. So that's really entirely up to you. How do you want this to look? I'm just going to pick 2 columns. You can kind of see what's happening here. Now the elements, this is the fun stuff, right? The elements are what goes inside of the rows. These are all the little things that you can drop inside of it. If you want to pick a headline, you just pick the headline, and there it is, right? Now this element is here. I could make this font much bigger if I wanted to. And I can say, this is my headline, element headline, right? And if we wanted to, we can make it smaller. It's basically super simple to use. Over here, if I wanted to add a picture, I just click image, click it again, and literally I could just add any image. Here we go. And then let's say I want to add a paragraph under this. This is just so that you understand the different elements on the page, and it's for nothing else, just to kind of understand that they are sections, rows, and elements, right? And that's pretty much how that works. If I want to delete it, come back in here, hit delete, and there it goes. Anytime you're working, you should save your work. So you just click save here. Another thing to note about this drag and drop editor is that you can change it to the mobile view and to the desktop view. The mobile view and the desktop view. Now you can see that the mobile view seems to be a little bit screwed up on this funnel page, so there's probably something going on with it. All we got to do is take a look and see what the problem is. Let's see here. Let's just delete this row. When we look at it, that looks better. And so you can change how the actual font. So let's say, for example, this is too big, right? And we want to change only the mobile size. We click this right here, this mobile size. And again, just don't stress out too much about, if I'm going too fast, we'll come back and we'll go over these things. This is just a really brief overview. I want you to see how you can move this away from that top. Let's see, I can move it away from that top just a little bit. And if I click back here, that's the desktop view, that's the mobile view. That's the desktop view. Now, when you click book my guided tour, for example, I want to show you this as well before we go through and set the actual funnel step up. If you click this book my guided tour, you can choose the action that you want it to happen. So this one scrolls to a certain row on the page, to the CTA section. It scrolls to right here. You can also make it so that when you click this button, a pop-up comes up, right? So you can also configure pop-ups here, but you can also make it so that this pop-up only shows up when someone tries to exit your website, for example. So maybe you want this same form down here to show up when someone tries to leave your website. So let's say, yes, book my consultation now. So let's go ahead and show the pop-up. We already edited the settings. You can see now it shows when the user tries to exit. This is really important. You can select the background, do all those things. And so let's go ahead and add a one column row in here. Let's add an element. We're going to add the input box. So that's one input box. We had the name, email address, and contact number. So let's go back. Let's actually stay here and go to edit settings. So it's the name, email address, and let's add the name. So in order to add the name, I'm hovering over this and I'm clicking the orange element. So let's go ahead and add the name. So now we have two, right? So now we have two here. I'm going to add another one. So now we have three. We have name, email, and phone. Let's come back to it. Now, in order to update these, we just go to the type. So we'll just say name, and we can say your full name here. Email, and we just pick email. And then phone is, we go ahead, same thing. Phone number, your contact. However it's done here. Let's see, it's best contact number, your name, and email address. So let's actually copy that. This is the best contact number, I should say. And was your name and the email address. Let's go ahead and edit those. And then email address. All we got to do is remove this. There you have it. So we can actually space these apart a little bit. move those away. 20 or 30, it's entirely up to you. Let's do 20. And of course, we can add a button. Let's go ahead and add a button here. Here's our button. Let's space it away. And let's set the color as this red. And I'm going to go into advanced and I'm going to pick fill with. So it takes up the whole thing here. Now, you can say what you'd like this button to do. This button could submit the order, this form, right? Submit this form. And at the top, you really want to, so yes, book my consultation. All I got to do is I got to copy this. And also you'll notice there are some icons in here. Let me show you how to put that as well. Let's go here, edit settings. So I'm going to paste in this. And then under the name, all we got to do is pick advanced, and we're going to pick the icon. Here it is. So our name appears there, the email address, we're going to do the same thing. There we go. And for the phone number, we're going to do the same thing. There it is, right? And so let's save it. So all we're really doing here is literally copy this here. Let's go back in. And if we want to add another element in here, we'll just add headline. And I'm pulling it and I'm dragging it up. And I'm going to need to put a top margin on this one. Just separate this. And we can literally remove this one because we want this one to be at the top and not have too much white space. Fill out the form below for your free to book your free consultation now. All right, so that's it really. I can add, a paragraph element if I want to say, just fill out the form below to get started. That's it, really. And all I got to do is I'll save this, and that's it. And I've got that. But one thing to understand is you want to click integrations. You want to make sure you integrate this with ClickFunnels internal, right? Actionetics. You want to add them to a list, but in order to do that, you have to actually create an email list, okay? So I'll show you how to create an email list as well in the next video so that we can finalize this right here and we can move on from there. So keep watching, stay tuned to the next one.